How's it going? This is Scout here. She's a 6-month-old white lab, yellow lab. And if you looked at the video introduction, she's just a little nuts on the leash, and we're just trying to calm her down, which is not always the easiest thing with a lab this age. All this tension here, one of the problems she's having is barking inside the house, which we've been working on. This video is going to focus on how we're going to behave on the leash. A couple of rules we're going to have is we stay with their ears right around here. Just pick a side, doesn't matter, because sometimes you have two dogs, so picking a side doesn't really do much. And then to have, they look straight ahead or at us, and they stay about right here. And when we stop, we go into a sitting position, period. And if we're going to see a dog, we're going to have dogs walking by, back and forth. And Beth is going to bring a dog one at a time. And one of the problems she's having is lunging and pulling and all this stuff. And we're going to put her in her sitting position. This is the first time out, so I don't know what's going to happen. So let's see what happens with Scout. She's been a fun dog to have around, but a lot of the problems she's having now can turn into major problems as they get older. You know, once they're a year and a half and they are set in their ways with it, a funny puppy can be a little trouble. So, okay, this is the British slip lead. The reason I like using them is because they don't have any moving parts. Nothing's going to fail unless they just chew through the rope, which can happen with any lead. And you want to move it right behind this little knot in their heads, right behind the ears. And then that way you have, if you have their head, this is a strong puppy, you can lead them around like this. I'm just using my pinky, and I don't have extra strong pinkies. Now, one thing I want you to think about when you're moving your dog, you want to go to the side, okay? It's like cow tipping. Never done it, but same idea. And then, so when this happens, you just want to kind of step away. If you want the dog to come to you, down with your hand, if you have to sit down or whatever. But this is how you're going to direct your dog, okay? You don't want this idea, you don't want this. This is because if the more I pull, the more they're going to, usually, if I'm pulling for a reason, that means they want to get somewhere, like right there. I don't want to play that game. So instead of letting them do that, let me see if I can get her. Go. Go. So instead of that, we're going to go sideways. And then ultimately in a sit position. And we're going to hold it. A couple of checks. And if you're going to check, you want it to slide through your hands. This is not a discipline maneuver. This is literally just like tapping someone on the shoulder, like, hey, that's all it is. And if it's in the right place, you don't have to use much pressure at all. And you'll have to readjust quite a bit. But you want it to almost be sliding through your hands as you do it. And right now, we got some stuff going on. And this is pretty much what I'm going to do while the other dogs are walking by. So we're just going to learn to live in this world right here. Okay, so this is Scout, and one of the things we're going to do, you can do this inside, and this is as good as a walk. She's a very hyper puppy, and so here's the deal. I want you to think about like doing figure eights, backwards ice skating, something like that. And so basically, we're going to go sideways, sit, walk over here, sit, walk over here. This is as good as any exercise they're ever going to get. So right now, she's pulling this way. I'm going to step to the side and give her just a little tug. Let her sit. If I were to come with me, come on, let's go. Now there's trouble right behind us. We got someone that she might want to leap at. There's trouble over here. So what I want to do is get in front of that to where she can't see. And I'm just going to let it kind of pass by. So we've got, now we got people running by. That is a typical deal where she might want to go, but what I want is just keep going. Hey, 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 hey. And then we go, come on. And this is a little exercise right before you walk. And if you do this before you walk, and what I'm doing here, So I'm stepping in front and just pulling up a little bit and stepping up to where they just kind of look up at you. So this is a little exercise you do, kind of wears them out a little bit. Then when they go on the walk, it kind of takes the edge off a little bit. So if you're on a scale of 1 to 10 on a thermometer where the 9 to 10 is red, this takes that red off. So they're kind of panting a little bit. They're not up to smelling and wanting to leap at everything. So I'm letting her misbehave a little bit here, just on purpose. Again, the rules are when they're on the leash, they're either looking forward or they don't get to look at the ground like this. This is not what I want. All right, so I'm going to let her misbehave and show what she's doing. So this is why the phone's rung. Okay. So this is what they don't want. And she's choking herself and all this stuff. So we're going to see if once or twice we can get, so Yeti is the Great Pyrenees. We'll see if we can get her from doing this. Okay, there's nothing good about it. First thing I want to do is make sure I know that dog's coming and Scout's going to pull. Okay, so now we're going to be ready for it. I see them coming down the street, down the sidewalk. I'm going to stop and go and get my my leash and run. So now we're going to get into a sit position. Boom, 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 boom. I'm just going to check them. Boom. I want them more worried about me than that dog. All right, so right now I see a dog coming. Boom. Check. Step between him and there. Boom. Sit position, check, 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 walk right by. It's not a punishment, it's just a correction to it. Walk by again. If he sits up, so this is a lot less trouble than all that pushing and pulling. Give me one more walk by. First things first is know that they're coming. And so I'm just barely tugging on this. We got dogs over here that we're getting a pretty good outcome here for the first time around. So I'm pretty happy with this. Thanks, Yeti. Good girl, Scout. And you don't want to be up in their face like, good girl, or that's my girl, or whatever. Nobody, they don't need to be wound up. So right now she's pulling. I'm gonna go sideways and reset. And even if I just go a couple of spaces, boom, boom. You don't want a lot of tension on, you don't want any tension on the leash. And there's no reason you need to go on a mile walk at first once you're getting it done. And just pull up, step in. I'm not using any sit commands. I'm not using any words. I'm just using the leash. If it's in a good position, you don't want to fight them like a bass, okay? You want no tension on the leash except for just kind of light. Notice my hands, they're sliding up every time, okay? So we don't want them to, we got dogs walking by right here. And you want to pan over there? And just show what's going on. Okay, so we got that going on. There you go. It's just logging hours of watching people go by, watching cats and squirrels and lawnmowers and all that stuff. Just sit here, and that first exercise has more to do than anything. We just get them out of that excited, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, the outside exists. Now, I mean, if I stood here long enough, and she might do it, she may lay down. If she yawns, that means that they're kind of like submitting. It's not the same as a yawn for us. It means they're like, okay, I give. And then they're going to kind of be easier to handle. And she may just lay down, just like that. And so, there we go. This is my yawn. I bet if I get another one, she's just going to lay down. And these checks, it's real important. It's not to yank them into position. It's just to guide them. It's like putting a chair under your guest. Here's your Here's your menu, here's your chair, and you just naturally sit. That's all it is. She did really good. This is a 6-month-old lab. I'll take it.